Another day and yet another 4x4 enters the garage. This one, a 14-month-old rough-running Range Rover. It's suffering after the owner's son filled it with diesel instead of petrol, although he denies it.
He said he's not, but to be honest with you, this guy's done it before. We're not going to mention any names, because he is a good lad. If we can get as much out as possible and fill the tank right up with petrol and go for there and see what happens.
This should be straightforward.
Like that.
Right, and then I pour it in.
Can you reach up there?
Yeah.
Go on, go on.
But the guys seem to be struggling getting the petrol in the tank.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. That's not gone down the hole, man. What's going on there? No. It's the flaps, man. The flaps on the open.
What's up in there, man?
What, the flap?
Aye. We'll just only let a little bit in, that's all.
Give us that there. Force that down there. Right, we're in. Right. Come on, always end up in these jobs for you.
The problem with working with petrol is that it has side effects. Needless to say, kids, don't try this at home.
Yeah, I want to think of nice things like flowers and bunny rabbits.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't worry, lads, it's just the petrol.
Bleeding all these fumes in, man.
With the guys in high spirits and more petrol ending up on the floor than in the tank, Jock thinks he can do a better job.
If I get a poke with a screwdriver, poked in there as well at the same time. You watch this now. I bet that goes like a rocket. It's in the technique, look.
Aye.
That's doing it, innit?
That's doing it.
Why didn't you think of that?
Did, but it was spitting us. Still spitting us.
And finally, with enough petrol actually making its way into the tank, they're hopeful she'll start and the job can be wrapped up.
Try that.
But there's a problem. The engine won't start.
Not pumping fuel up.
Huh?
It's not pumping fuel, not even when you turn it over.
And Jock needs someone else to wind up. And who better than Sandy and his Cindy-mobile?
I think it's gay.
Sure about the colour.
It's a gay colour, that is. People passing comments about your car out there. They said, what do you think of your car? And somebody said it there, it looks a bit gay. That's what they said. Oh, it doesn't matter to me. I actually like the car. Nice colour.
What's the matter with the colour of that, like? It's a nice colour. It's a torch car at the end of the day, like, but it's a nice car.
In fact, appearances are the least of Sandy's worries. 4 months ago, Sandy drove his car the 1,300-mile distance from Chester to Marbella. But as soon as he touched Spanish tarmac, the car developed a problem.
So when I come over, it was juddering all the way from Madrid. And yesterday I noticed that actually one of the drive shafts, there's 3 main bearings on the drive shaft coupling, and one of the bearings has actually exploded.
One of the 3 bearings in the Audi's CV joint has worn out, causing a knocking and juddering when Sandy drives.
No, I'm going to put a new drive shaft on. We're going to order one hopefully the day.
Several weeks later, and not much appeared to have changed.
It's not very well. So drive shaft.
The problem was that Sandy couldn't swallow the Spanish price tag.
One sitting on the shelf in Wembley for that. 120 quid plus about, you're looking at 139 quid. I want 400 euros over here just to recon that drive shaft. It's ridiculous, man.
But the next day, bargain basement Sandy's plan hit a snag.
I see the company I phoned that said they had one. It's 279 quid. Well, it's double. It's nearly trebled in price. What they originally quoted us,
With the price rocketing overnight, Sandy turns into steptoe.
Do you not think there'll be one up in the scrapyard on a coupe, not a cabriolet, a coupe 2.6?
Me, myself, if it was me, Sandy.
Just get it done.
Sorted. You'd lay the car up outside your house, couldn't you, with a trolley jack? You got 2 axle stands there, trolley jack, bump, bump, bump. I'll run it until we get the van, then we'll go down and mobile it. But it'll cost you, because you're a customer. Be quite so way.
But now, 2 months later, and with only a week left before the break, Sandy swallows his pride and opens his wallet. Back at the non-starting Range Rover, which had the wrong fuel in it, Sandy gets underneath to see if he can figure out what's stopping the fuel getting through to the engine. And with Jock's assistance, eventually Sandy strikes oil.
Oh, you
Apparently, getting petrol in your eye is akin to sandpapering your eyeballs. But even with one in the eye, Sandy is relentless in his quest,
Right, crack it over.
as he thinks that viscous diesel blocked the petrol fuel filter. And it seems he's even willing to die for the cause.
Right, off. Right, the fuel filter's blocked out. That's what's the matter with it. Shit, noise.
Jock, clearly not concerned with his employees' welfare, provides an alternative expert opinion.
I think there's probably a midget stuck in it. It's a midget blockage. What do you reckon?
Whatever the reason for the faulty fuel filter, a new one will need to be ordered. Meanwhile, next door, Sandy has received the new fuel filter for the non-starting Range Rover and fitted it. His fingers are now firmly crossed that this time the Range Rover will start. And eureka! The engine jumps into life. However, the back end doesn't seem too happy. Sandy knows it's just the leftover diesel burning away. But with the garage looking like a 70s disco, Jock's not best pleased.
It's a nightmare. I just wouldn't have started the car up, but there you go. And I have briefed him on it. Doesn't do a lot for the health and safety, really, does it? I did tell them, it's going to start, and he revved the at it. Let's take it outside and start it.
With the benefit of hindsight, Sandy goes to burn off the diesel outside, instead of in Jock's garage. With the Range Rover fully recovered from its bout of fuel poisoning, Sandy's at last given the opportunity to replace the drive shaft on his long-suffering Audi.
Let's get it shafted. I haven't been off the road, I've been using it, but it's been like ill. Makes right cranking noise and clicking noise and screaming noise. That's supposed to be totally tight and round. As you can see, it's just like flopping all over, that's it. And so every time you put it into gear, it's been making that clunk. And it's just like, it's supposed to go around smoothly, but obviously it's going around oval there. So it's not very well.
Half an hour later, and out it comes.
And there's a drive shaft. You look at that one, that's nice and tight, right? Look, seen that one? And the play on that.
And before long, the completely worn bearings are there for all to see.
As you can see, there's sort of like loads of bit of metal there. There's supposed to be 3 main bearings that run on there, and there's no bearings left. So it's actually just been, there's the bearings. It's just been running on that. It's just been doing that.
And that's a mechanic's car.
It's not my fault, I couldn't get a drive shaft.
But in no time at all, the new shaft is put into place.
Out with the old, in with the new.
And Sandy's off on a test drive brimming with optimism.
Smoothness.
And at last, it looks like Sandy has finally solved his Audi's problems.
Didn't know that's music in my ears, that. I tell you, it's one of them things that's been on my mind, right, and it's been proper deep in my head in. Because it's like, I've been going to the airport and stuff like that, and I've been thinking, I hope this doesn't break down. It's music in my ears, that.